Last time we spoke, you were all excited about the things that were happening on St. Lucia.
Well, I'm even more excited this year because we've had significant growth in the destination. It's performing well. Last year we grew by about 11% overall. This year we grew year to date, April, 9.5%. So that's really exciting news for the destination. But more specifically to your question about airlift, American Airlines has just announced that they'll be starting a second daily flight into St. Lucia. So travelers to St. Lucia will have a second option to come to the island from Miami, linking with various feeder cities. So American has put on about 1,200 seats extra a week, and that is going to be exceptional and really good news for our destination, good news for travelers, and good news for tourism overall. So that is really good. We have some exciting opportunities from other major gateways. We'll be making announcements very soon on some of these opportunities. We've also had Inter-Caribbean, which connects us now. There's a direct flight to Dominica that takes us into Tortola, and those opportunities are very good for Caribbean travel. The Caribbean is about our third largest market behind the United States and Canada at times, the UK, sorry. So we've got a tremendous opportunity. St. Lucia is moving in the right direction with some of the things that we're doing.
With the additional airlift coming, how's your room stock? Is there enough room stock to accommodate the additional airlift?
Yes, absolutely. We have a significant amount of investments that are coming in. Sandals has just announced resort number 4. In fact, they've gone beyond the announcement and they have broken ground. They've started construction. And 385 rooms is going to be a 6-star property on the Pigeon Island Causeway, one of the best beaches in the country. And that will lend exceptionally. I think that when people talk about a destination, that is easy to do. But when they put their money where their mouth is, I think that really is the real McCoy. And Sandals, that has 3 resorts and 800 rooms, investing in an additional almost 400 to take their total room stock up to 1,200 is absolutely significant. In addition to that, we've got investments by the Apple Leisure Group with 2 different brands, Zoe Tree and also Dreams, which will add about another 330 rooms. And then the Fairmont property is advancing quite nicely. Construction has begun there, and they are doing about 330 rooms. So yes, we've just opened up the Harbor Club, which is a 119-room Hilton-operated property on the bay. And we've just reopened Bellevue, which is a nice boutique hotel on the outskirts of the capital Castries. So lots of options for people to come and stay with us and to visit. And what's growing remarkably well is the non-traditional accommodation sector. St. Lucia, just like the rest of the Caribbean, has no shortage of Airbnb and luxury villas and apartments. And that is perhaps the fastest area of growth for the Caribbean and for St. Lucia.
To what do you attribute these significant numbers? I mean, this is significant growth within your sector. I read where there's a North American showcase. Can you explain what that's about and the impact that would have in terms of visitor arrivals?
Well, we continue to take a strategic look at marketing. A few years ago, we took a decision as a country that we will not go to some of these big trade shows that may tend to forget or go over the heads of smaller countries with less influence and smaller budgets like St. Lucia. And we thought that we needed to be more targeted and more streamlined in our marketing approaches. So we created St. Lucia Showcase, and we picked a time in the year where there was no competition with nothing else. And we had a dedicated week where bringing all of our major trade partners down, tour operators, travel agents, press, airline companies, and all of our stakeholders within the travel industry from North America, US, and Canada. And we say, come and soak up St. Lucia, come and see what we're about, come and see the new product, come and enjoy the destination, go on the excursions, see what your clients do experience. And that's what the St. Lucia Showcase is all about. It's a marketplace where our suppliers, the hoteliers, and the people who operate excursions get an opportunity to say to the distributors and the retailers, let's sign some new deals, this is what we do, and let us introduce you to the most iconic and aspirational destination in the world, which is also the romance capital of the Caribbean.
Last year you shelved jazz. Are there any thoughts about bringing that back, or what do you think?
Well, I wouldn't say we shelved it. I would say we reconfigured it, because what we've done is we have the Soleil Music Festival, and that really is a festival that goes across the summer. I think it gives a greater meaning and expression to our indigenous festivals. So like Carnival has been placed on the back burner. We've got some wonderful music coming out of St. Lucia. Carnival is a wonderful festival, and we are now saying that we would like to better showcase Carnival. Creole Heritage Month, which showcases our Frenchness, our Creoleness, is a unique experience for people coming to St. Lucia. It's a great opportunity for visitors to really sample a different aspect of Caribbean heritage, which is only found in a few islands that have had that unique colonial past of French and English. And Creole Heritage Month gives greater meaning and expression to all of that. So it is really a shift away from what you know as pop culture into Caribbean culture, the more authentic indigenous stuff that we have to offer.
It's been a year since you have shifted that. What are the results? What are you seeing different in terms of your numbers and visitor arrivals? People hearing about it want to come to that. What's the shift?
Well, for one, we're getting a lot more press, and whenever we do these things, there is a big tourism element to it. So the Jazz Festival, which you reference, is the largest tourism marketing event, and that therefore has to deliver return on investment. And we're seeing that the press is back. We've had some very influential media coming this year, and in terms of the return, it's significant. We've crunched those numbers, and it suggests that out of a $4 million investment, we would have actually netted somewhere in the region of 25 to 30 million in media exposure, which is quite significant for a destination and an island that is as tourism dependent as we are. The other thing is that we are investing in our culture, our people, our music, our rhythm, our beat, and as well, we are also significantly reducing the cost of doing business and promoting our product and promoting our destination.
There's been a lot of conversation about the appeal to the diaspora. What is St. Lucia doing to attract the diaspora back to the country, back to St. Lucia? I mean, I like to use the term, it's low-hanging fruit. You know, in the past, the perception was that the diaspora comes home, they stay with friends and they stay with family, they don't stay at the hotels. Is there any initiative of targeting the diaspora?
Well, we do have a diaspora program with the St. Lucia Tourism Authority, where we actually use the St. Lucian diaspora across the spectrum to help to promote the destination. So we don't only see the diaspora as a potential market, but we see them as agents in their own right. They're the people who go and they talk up their country, they promote the beauty and warmth and hospitality of their respective jurisdictions to friends at work and people that they interact with at soccer clubs and golf clubs and jazz clubs and wherever they socialize. And it is quite important to feel the pulse. They are sort of like the samplers, I call them, or the introduction to a place. A lot of people would have worked with people from the Caribbean or citizens of a respective island and would have made a decision based on that. In addition to that, I would like to say that more and more we see a lot of people from the diaspora coming to stay in traditional hotels. Their taste have now been elevated from staying with mom and dad and are now looking for, unique experiences in traditional type hotels. What I have found as well in the Caribbean is that Vincentians are going to Barbados and Barbadians are going to St. Vincent and Jamaicans are going to Aruba and Arubians are going to Jamaica. So there's also a exchange, if you like, among Caribbean peoples coming from the economic hubs. They are being registered as American citizens and American travelers, but there are a lot of diaspora in a lot of those numbers. When you go deeper and you examine them, they're actually Caribbean people sampling Caribbean islands.
Thank you, Minister.
Thank you so very much.
Pleasure speaking with you.
It's an absolute pleasure.
Yes.